Hello. Hello. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, very good afternoon, everyone. Right now, we have our trainer here. Okay. His name is Saidul Sheikh. Okay. So, he will be teaching you from the very scratch about the data engineer, and he has the expertise in data engineering, especially in GCP. Okay. So, Saidul, are you there? Hello. Hello. Saidul,
Hey, yes, am I audible, guys? Sorry for that.
yeah, no worries, no worries. So, yeah, you can, few
Sure.
members are still joining. No worries about
Okay.
that.
hmm
Okay. So you can
Cool.
proceed with the PPT and the introduction of, like, I have given you the introduction, but you can proceed with the things you have. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
So,
So quickly we'll start with the session, guys. Just
okay. So
okay.
let me gonna start. Yeah, thanks, Aishwarya. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay. So hope you all can hear me. Can you guys confirm once? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
that's great. Thanks for confirming. So let us start this session, guys. So this is our first demo, and let me gonna plan this first demo like this. So in this first demo, I'm going to talk about why Learnomate. And after that, let me gonna give you a brief introduction about what is Google Cloud Platform, what is GCP, and what is data engineering. Okay, so these are the three topics. Let us try to understand. And we will also talk about what is the role of a data engineer. If I wanted to become a data engineer, what is the data engineer role? What does the data engineer do every day? Okay, so those are the things we are going to talk about today. First, even before starting this one, let me gonna introduce myself, guys. Okay, so my name is Sheikh Saidul. I've completed my master's degree from National Institute of Technology. Okay, I have a master's degree from NIT Trichy. I'm currently working as a solution architect as a full-time solution architect as a full-time, and I'm also a consultant at Databricks. Okay, so I'm currently working at two places. So solution architect, a full-time, and Databricks consultant. I'm currently working in the Databricks also. Some of the things that you would see in a Databricks, such as like use Unity catalog, the advancements that you are seeing, right? So I'm also a part of that development team as well in the Databricks. And I've been teaching the this data engineering from last 2 to 3 years, I would say. I've been teaching that data engineering, and even before that, Python, other cloud platforms as well, Azure. So I have 2 to 3 years of experience into the cloud platforms as well as data engineering. So this is all about me, guys. So my name is Sheikh Saidul. I have completed my master's degree from National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli. I have currently working as a solution architect and also a Databricks consultant. Now we will jump on to what is Learnomate Technologies. So you might have known about the Learnomate already. Let me gonna give you a small idea about what is Learnomate. So uh, what we do at Learnomate is that we are going to providing you the software training. So we are one of the leading training provider. So we will be providing mainly our Pune as well as Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, we are providing our services into the Himayat Nagar. So we will be providing in various areas. I would say that we have been providing. 1 minute, why it's not working? Yeah, the main goal for the Learnomate is that we have three core values. The first one is mission, that is to provide you the quality and quality trainings, I would say, in all the particular what I would say is that in different areas such as data engineering, I would say, Python or other streams as well. So our main idea is to provide you the quality with a reasonably priced and trending software courses. Okay, our main vision is to transform your dreams into the realities, and our values include excellence, innovation, integrity, and empowerment, and customer centric and accountability. So these are the three core values that we have, such as mission, vision, and values. Okay. And there were plenty of students got placed from our institute, I would say. So there are freshers placed, there are experienced professionals also placed. These are many people that have placed. You can see here, guys. And our CEO, you can see here, we have our CEO also here, Ankush also here. So he is also one of the trainer in our institute. I would say he is having more than 10 years of experience into this field. And we are also very famous at YouTube as well as Instagram. You can also see we had a good Google ratings as well, 4.8, and we have a very good subscribers in the YouTube as well. It's very rare that for you, for a teaching institutes getting a 23k subscribers, but we are having almost 23k subscribers. That's very huge for the training institutes, I would say. And we have 3000 plus followers in Instagram as well, and we have a very good ratings in the Google. And if you ask me what are the trainings or whatever the streams that you guys are teaching, if you ask me, our main fields are Oracle DBA, Oracle Fusion, Oracle Cloud, data engineering, data scientist. So these were many technologies. We are not just teaching the courses, we are also providing you the real-time projects, so that people coming from different backgrounds or people does not have any idea about any of the course, but starting from the course from very basic to the advanced level, including all the real-time projects. That's our main agenda for the for our institute. So what we try to do is that we're going to be starting with the very basics. Even in the data engineering or any other field, we will be starting with the very basics, and we go up to the advanced level, so that if you put in a any situation in the company, whenever you have to work on something, so you should be able to comfortably work with it. So that's the main idea. Getting the job is easy as well as, but sustaining in the job is very important. So that's where you need to have a practical knowledge on each and every topic. So that is what we are going to focus on. My teaching model is that 80 by 20 model, guys. 80 is nothing but practicals, 20 is nothing but theoretical. I will talk about all of those things. And you can also see our things. You can see here, we will be providing you the online training. So for this data engineering, it is online only. Once you guys completed the course, you will also be getting a certification, course completion certification also. And I will tell you what are the real-time projects I am going to talk about in the data engineering. I will give you a good idea about what is the real-time topics that we are covering, as well as the projects that we are going to cover in our entire session. And during the sessions, we will also providing you the labs. So I will also provide you the assignments, lab sessions, and I will also tell you how you guys have to practice it. Everything I'm going to tell you and discuss in the session, so that you guys will be very comfortable working with as well as practicing each and every session whenever you get time. And we will be having a dedicated support. That means whenever you get some doubts, for sure you will be getting doubt. If you are getting doubt, that means you started learning it. So whenever you get doubt, we have a dedicated team for that. So whenever you get out, you can reach out to us, so that we will be helping you in that. And one more thing, once after the course curriculum, once of the course completion, you guys will be have to provide you will be have to prepare your resume. We will be helping in the resume preparation, and if you need any kind of a job assistance, something like that, we will also providing you that as well. I will also show you how you guys can prepare your resume, how you go for the interview if you wanted to go for an interview, how this course is going to be helpful. All of those things I'm going to talk about. So these are the features that we are providing from our training institute, I would say. Okay, so this is all about the Learnomate, and I will talk about the Google Cloud platform and what is data engineering. All of those details, let us take it one by one. Okay, is it clear, guys? Does anyone have any questions? Okay, I've not started anything, so I hope you guys might not have any questions. But let me start with it. So far, it is all about just introduction about our institute. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the data engineering with the Google Cloud platform, guys. This is where the movie starts. Okay, so far it is just a title, so I'm going to start the movie now. Okay, so what is our agenda for today's session? My main agenda for today is that I wanted to tell you what is data engineering. Everyone, whether you wanted to learn data engineering or you wanted to go anywhere in the data engineering, I would like to tell you what is data engineering and what is a role of a data engineer. If I wanted to become a data engineer, what is the roles, what is the skills that I have to learn? So that's all of those details. Let us try to learn in a simple way. And after that, I am going to give you a good overview of Google Cloud Platform. Most of the people does not know about the Google Cloud Platform at all, but I would like to give you a very good understanding of what is Google Cloud Platform. What are the benefits of using the Google Cloud Platform over the other cloud platforms also I will talk about here. And the third thing is that I would like to give you a detailed course curriculum. What is cloud basics we are going to cover, what are the data engineering tools that we are going to cover in this entire sessions, so that you guys get a very good idea of what are the topics that you guys covering. And the end of the session, I will also talk about the course details and the course timings, and how do you have to access the course material, and how do you have to access the recordings from our institute. All of those details I am going to talk about one by one. Okay, so this is all about the outline of today's session. This is our first demo. I'm going to talk about what is data engineering, what is Google Cloud Platform, detailed course curriculum, and the course details. These are the things that we are going to talk about. So that is leading to the very first step, that is what is data engineering. Okay, what is data engineering? Very simple. Okay, so the main agenda, I would like to give you a very good context. So the thing is that you might be, if you guys go 10 years before, what usually happens is that we do not have much applications and we do not have much web services to interact with it. But nowadays, what is happening is that everyone from waking up onwards, they are going to interact with each and every application. For example, if I wanted to book a cab, I am going to interact with an application. If I wanted to watch something, I'll be opening some YouTube or something, some application, so that again you are interacting with that. And again, whenever you wanted to order a food, okay, you are going to the Zomato, again you are interacting with an application. So whenever you interact with an application, the data gets generated. Okay, whenever you interact with an application, the data gets generated. So the data may be generated in application end. Right, whenever you interact with an application, the data is getting generated. Maybe you go to the Amazon or Flipkart, you place an order, that's where the data gets generated. Maybe sometimes you may be going to some production firms or a medical firms. What they try to do is that if someone comes, right, so they are going to enter the data in the form of a files, maybe a CSV file or an Excel file or maybe some other file format. So you may be having the data that is in the form of a file formats also. Maybe that file could be a CSV file, it could be a JSON file, it could be a Avro file, or it could be a Parquet file, right? So you are getting the data from some applications, you are getting the data from some file formats, you are also getting sometimes the data from the databases. Okay, you may have your manager asking you to extract the data from some databases, right? That could also be a possible data source for you. And sometimes you might be seeing nowadays, there are plenty of sensor devices are came into the picture. So that generates a lot of very huge amount of data. IoT devices, we also call it as Internet of Things or sensor devices. So the data is also generated at a sensor devices as well. We call it as IoT, Internet of Things, right? So what are these things is that these are our data sources. There can be hundreds of data sources. These are categorized into applications. The data may be in the form of a file format. The data may be in the form of a databases. The data may be in the form of a IoT devices. What are we interested in, sir? Why we are interested in these particular data sources? It is because that the companies assume that, or the companies think that whenever you have a data about your business, this is the data about their business. Whenever you have a data about your business, if you try to understand this business, okay, if you try to understand this data gives you some kind of insights. This data gives you some kind of insights. These insights are very useful for your business improvement. These insights are very, very useful for your business improvement. Okay, what is the business think is that we are having a data that is coming from multiple data sources. And if we try to understand the data or analyze the data, those data gives you insights. Those insights are very, very useful for the business improvement. So those things are nowadays you are seeing big billion days in the Flipkart or maybe Amazon sales. Those are coming from the insights of the business understanding only. Okay, whenever you have a data that is coming from the multiple data sources, whenever you try to understand the data, those data gives you some kind of insights which are very useful for your business improvement. Okay, which are very, very useful for your business improvement. So that is the reason we need to work towards these data sources. We need to work on these data sources as a data engineer. Okay, so what we need to do, sir? If you wanted to understand the data first, you need to have the data with you. So that is the reason what you try to do is that you are going to extract the data from these multiple data sources. You are going to store it in the data lake. You are going to store it in a location. That location you are calling it as a data lake. Okay, so we know that the data is very important for the business improvement. So that is the main purpose. We try to extract the data from these multiple data sources. We are going to store it in a single location called data lake. Okay, so once you have the data in a single location, because this application may be running in some other location, this file format may be in some other CSV file or a JSON file. So this database data may be in the tabular format. So this may be in the log format. So you have a multiple data sources with a very huge amount of data you are dealing with. Different file formats are there. So you are going to store that data into a single location. And what you try to do is that whatever the data that you got from the data sources may not be in a usable format for the analysis. Sometimes the data may be having some kind of a duplicates. The data may be some kind of a null values. The format is not easy to analyze the data. So that is the reason we are going to do the data processing. We are going to do the data processing. What is data processing? A data processing is nothing but adding some kind of a value to your data. Adding some kind of a value to your data. What is that mean, sir? If that means like removing the duplicates. Because we already know that whatever the data that we may get from the data sources may not be in a usable format for the analysis, because our main agenda is to analyze the data. If I wanted to analyze the data has to be there in a single location. So we extracted and stored in a single location. But we now know that the data may be having some kind of a problems. Maybe it is not a correct data. So that is the reason what we try to do is that we are going to process that data. We are going to process the data. When you process the data, what we do is that we are going to add some kind of a value to the data. Once you have processed that data, you are going to send that data to the data warehouse. We are going to send that data to the data warehouse where we are going to do the analysis, where we can store the data and analyze the data. And these data warehouses comes up with a built-in query engine which is capable of running the SQL queries. Okay, these data warehouses comes up with a built-in query engine. These capable of running the SQL queries using a simple language called SQL. You are going to analyze the data. You are going to analyze the data. So this is what is data engineering, sir. Okay. So in a data engineering, you are going to get the data from a multiple data sources. You are storing the data in a single location. You know that there may be some kind of a problems to your data. So that is the reason you are going to process the data so that you can able to analyze it properly. And once you have processed that data, you're going to send the data to the data warehouse. Once you have in the data warehouse, these data warehouses comes up with a built-in query engine which is capable of running the SQL queries. Using a simple SQL language, we are going to process it, analyze it, transform it, and you are going to create the data in the form of a tabular format. Okay, so this is how you are going to do it. And after that, there can be a business intelligence people. They are going to create some kind of a dashboards or reports on top of this data. Or there can be a machine learning engineer who creates a machine learning models out of it. Or there can be a data scientist who uses this data for the further future trends purpose. Or there can be a business group who will directly use this data for the business improvement. Okay, so this is what is data engineering, sir. And in a data engineering, you extract the data from the multiple data sources, you store it, you process it, you analyze it, and you are going to create the dashboards or machine learning models or future trends. Not only that, we will also ensure that data is accurate throughout the platform. So that is the reason we also take care of data governance and monitoring. In a data governance and monitoring, we ensure that the data is moving from the data sources to the data lake to the data processing. In each and every step, we wanted to take care of data accuracy. If the data is not accurate throughout the platform, whatever the analysis that we are trying to do, there can be a plenty of problems. So that is the reason in each and every step, we are going to ensure the data is accurate with the help of the data governance and monitoring. So data governance and monitoring is also one of the important aspect where we ensure the data accuracy, data completeness, and whatever the pipelines that we have created, those pipelines are properly monitored throughout the process, so that if there is any problem in the pipeline, we are going to fix it as soon as possible. Otherwise, the downstream people are getting the wrong data. Okay, so this is what is a full-fledged data engineering chart, guys. In a data engineering, you will be having data sources and data destination. In a data source, you extract the data, store it, process it, and analyze it. And we also ensure the data is accurate. In a simple words, data engineering is a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, preparing large amounts of the data that can be used for the analysis purpose. Okay, it is a process of collecting the data, organizing the data, and preparing the large amounts of the data for the analysis purpose. It may involve designing and building the systems and infrastructure that needs to be captured, stored, processed, and accessed efficiently. What I mean to say is that we are not doing it manually. We wanted to build the systems. We wanted to build the infrastructure that works automatically in a scheduled fashion, so that it captures the data properly and stores it, process it, and access it efficiently. So this is what we can do in this particular data engineering, guys. Okay, it's a process of collecting the data from a multiple data sources, organizing the data, and processing the data so that we can easily use it for the analysis purpose. During this process, we are going to automate it with the help of by creating a multiple systems for the data capture, store, and process and access it efficiently. So this is all about data engineering, guys. Okay, so it is like a very simple thing. You might have already know if you wanted to correlate it, right? So for example, if you wanted to construct a home, assume that you wanted to construct a home. Okay, so if you wanted to construct a home, what you try to do, you will be having the sand in some location, maybe the equipment for the construction maybe in some location, similarly the bricks in some location, as well as some other water or whatever it is. So you will be having different raw material in different locations. So if you wanted to construct a home, you need to extract this all of these things. You need to transport all of these things into a single location where you are constructing the home. So this is where you keep all of these raw materials such as sand, equipment, bricks, and all of those things. And once you have stored it in a single location, can we directly construct a home? No. If you wanted to construct a home, you need to process it. What do you mean by processing? So you use the cement and you add the bricks, you use the sand and water, so that you are going to prepare a mixture of cement plus sand plus water. With the help of the bricks, you are going to construct a wall. So this is what I'm calling as a processing the data. So if you wanted to construct a home, you are going to extract these multiple raw material from different locations. You are going to store it in a single location where you wanted to construct a home. Once you have all of these things in a single location, you are going to process it. When I say a processing, You are going to create a mixture of cement, sand, and water, and you are going to use the bricks to construct a wall by wall, wall by wall. You are going to construct the home, and you are not keeping it like that only. You're going to be adding some colors, right? What you do, you add some kind of a colors. So those colors, you are going to add some colors. That is what I mean by BI or machine learning or data scientist. So constructing a home until that data engineers will do, and after that the BI, machine learning, and data scientists, they are going to trying to add some kind of a value to the data. That means they are going to create some multiple dashboards, reports, as well as machine learning models, so that then entire process will be completed. So the data engineering can be easily correlated with the civil engineering, so the process is same, so that you guys can get a good idea of what is data engineering here. Okay, if anyone have any questions, you can please raise your hand, guys. If you guys have any questions, you can raise your hand. Yes, Suman, you have any question?
Okay, sir, but I do not understand that data. What is the data again now?
That's what I'm telling you, right? For example, how the data generated, that's a question, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you are asking what is a sand, what is the equipment, that's what is your question. See, assume that you have an application. So
Yeah.
that application is Zomato. Okay, let us
Okay.
take an application called Zomato. So what
Okay.
what is the Zomato application? It's a food ordering service, right? So
Yeah.
multiple persons will be there, like you and me. Multiple people
Okay.
wanted to order a food. Whenever they order a food,
Okay.
they do some kind of a transaction over that particular application. So whenever they do a transaction, there will be a data generated or not.
Okay.
That means this guy has ordered this product worth of this much money on this particular day, and all of those details. That is what I'm calling as a data, right? So
Yeah.
after few days, the Zomato wanted to understand about their data. That is, what is the sales in that particular month. That is what
Yeah.
I'm calling as an analysis, right? What was the
Analysis.
product? What was the product, and what was the product which was sold high, or what was the restaurant which was very famous in the last month. So such kind of a things, what I'm calling as an analysis, right? So you have a data,
Okay.
and someone wanted to, your company wanted to understand your data. So that is what I'm calling as an analysis. So if I wanted to analyze the data, I need to store it or not? Okay, we need to store it. If I wanted to analyze it, we need to store it. And if you wanted to properly and accurately analyze your data, you need to process it.
Yeah.
Processing means that I mean to say, for example, you assume that you have ordered one product and you cancelled it, and the same day you ordered one more product, but that was good product. That means you have taken the delivery. So out of two transactions, which transaction I have to consider? The second one. It's because that you have taken the delivery. The first one was cancelled. So if
Delivery.
I try to analyze the data, so if I ask the data engineer, he will say there are two transactions. That means there were two deliveries, but actually there was only one delivery. One of the transaction got cancelled. That means if I try to process the data, if I try to analyze the data, then only I'll come to know that. Otherwise, we are going to dealing with the duplicate records, right? So that is
Yeah.
what we call as a data processing. So everything is, whatever the step that I am talking about, each and everything is very important here. So you may be thinking that it could be an application, maybe it could be a file format, maybe the data may be coming from the databases, or could be an IoT devices. So what is our agenda is that we wanted to extract it. We wanted to extract this data because we wanted to analyze that. If I wanted to analyze it, I extract this data and store it in a single location and process it, that we know that there could be some kind of a problems to the data. So that's the
Okay.
reason we process it. And after that, we analyze it.
Mm.
So during the analysis, we get to know that, okay, this was that sales trend, but no one wanted to see the data in the form of tables. Yes or no? I assume that I have a 10
Yeah.
million records in that particular table. If I give you
Yeah.
the 10 million records, so would you be able to understand the data properly?
How to possible?
Right? It may not be able to possible. So that is the reason we try to create some kind of a reports. Okay, so someone create a bar chart, someone create a pie chart. So you create some kind of a bar charts and all. Okay, you create some kind of a bar charts so that, okay, for this product this is a sales, for this product this is a sales, something like that. You should be able to see. Someone create some kind of a this one. Okay, and someone create some kind of a charts. So this is what, so by looking at this kind of a reports, you would be able to understand that, okay, this product was sold in 70%, this product was 25%, so that you can able to directly look at the diagram and they able to understand it. This is what I'm calling as adding some kind of a colors to your data. So that is what we call as a BI. Okay, what the BI will do is that they are going to do some kind of a reports or dashboards, they are going to create it. Similarly, some machine learning engineer will try to create a machine learning model so that whenever you give a input, it's going to be giving you the output. There can be a data scientist who wanted to find the future trends. Okay, so by understanding the existing data here, he wanted to find the future trend, what could happen in the next year. Okay, because in the last year at this particular day there was raining and he wanted to find the future trend. So what he will do, he analyzes the existing data, he will find the future trend saying that, okay, in the next year on the same day it could rain, it could rain. So that's kind of a future trend, he may get it. Okay, the last year at that month the sales was very low, maybe in the next at that point of time the sales could be very low. We will try to provide some kind of a discount so that people start you know, ordering the products, so that again we can increase the sales. So such kind of a details we can do that. Okay, so that entire thing I'm telling you, very interesting subject if you are deep diving into it. So everything nowadays we are seeing is revolving around the data only. Very interesting topic, I would say, data. Yeah. Yes, Suman, you have any question?
Okay, sir. I will one more question. That then ending, but data all our course finish. Another is the job solution
Yeah, that's what I'm
placement.
telling you. We will go there. I'll go there. Okay, so I will go there. So this is what is data engineering. So now you got what is data engineering, and after that I will talk about the role of a data engineer. I will tell you, someone, don't worry about that. All of those details I will tell you. Okay, let's not jump on to
Okay.
the final topic. Yeah. Okay, what is the role of a data engineer? So far, we have just seen what is data engineering. Let us try to see the role of a data engineer. Okay, we have just seen that a data engineer has to extract the data, nothing but a data ingestion. Okay, our data collection, our data extraction could be anything. So the data engineer should know how to extract the data from the multiple data sources. If I give a database, he should know how to extract the data from the database. If I give some CSV file, he should extract the data from the CSV file. So data ingestion is one of the important topic where you think about how to extract the data from the multiple data sources. And the very next point, data storage. If you have a data, how do you store it? Where do you store it? Whether it is scalable or not, whether it provides a security features or not, whether it is comes up with the proper properties for the management or not, access control or not. So in a data storage, a data engineer must be having a good knowledge on the data storage and management, so that he should be, if I give a some data, he should be able to properly store it according to the file format of that data. So if I give a tabular data, he should be able to store it in a database. If I give a file, he should be able to store it in the storage location. So data storage and management is one of the important topic where we worry about how to store the data, where to store the data, how to provide the access to the data, and how to protect the data and secure the data. All of those details comes into the data engineering and management. So a data engineer every day work on the data storage and management. Data processing, I was just talking about it. A data processing is something where we now know that we already know that every data may have some kind of a problems. We need to fix those problems. We need to remove the duplicates. We need to process it. So if you wanted to process it, you need to know what kind of a tool we have to use it, what programming language we have to do it, how to transform it and process it, how to clean the data, how to prepare the data. All of those details comes into the data processing. So a data engineer must have a very good knowledge in the data processing. Data quality and governance make sure that the data is accurate throughout the platform. So you need to worry about whether the quality of the data is there or not. So if the data is not quality enough, if the data is not complete enough, whatever that you are doing the analysis, it is waste of time. Okay, so if you wanted to properly analyze the data, you need to make sure that the data is accurate and complete throughout the platforms. Okay, so that comes under the data quality and governance. Data pipelines. Okay, as a data engineer, we don't want it to do the things manually, because you are not dealing with the 10 records, you're not dealing with 100 records, you are dealing with the millions, trillions of the records here. Okay, so millions, trillions of the records cannot be easily done with help of the manual practices. So what we have to do, we have to automate the things. So we need to create a pipeline which should extract the data, process the data, analyze the data, and store it into some location. So we need to create the pipelines using multiple programming languages. So we need to think about what kind of a pipeline it is, how much data that we are dealing with, whether it is a batch pipeline or a streaming pipeline. All of those details we will see in our upcoming sessions also. But that is one of the important aspect for the data engineer. If you go for a data engineer, they will ask you, would you be able to create a data pipeline or not? So that is one of the important aspect again. Again, performance optimization, which is one of the important aspect. If you go for an interview, without this question, there won't be any interview at all. Performance optimization, what the interviewer think is that if you are able to answer this question, that means you know all of these things. So if you are able to optimize the data performance, or if you are able to optimize a query or a code, that means you know all the things such as creating the pipeline, processing the data, data storage, and all of those things. So that's the reason the very, very important concept. And without this questions, at least 2 to 3 questions they are going to ask on the performance optimization. Without that, there won't be any interview. So performance optimization we are going to talk about more, because the very simple idea, if I have to give, if you think that some of the query, there is a query which is taking 10 minutes, which is supposed to take 1 minute only. Okay, what you have to do is that they will ask you to optimize it, optimize the query, write a query in a optimized fashion. So that is what they are going to ask it. So you need to have a very good knowledge on the SQL and Python and PySpark, so then only you will be able to do it. So all of those knowledge we are going to cover in our upcoming sessions, okay, which is very important topic. And one more thing, monitoring and maintenance, is that some pipeline is running. If you assume that some pipeline is running, if it is failed due to some issue, then we need to monitor it, we need to fix it. Otherwise, there will be a lot of problems. So that's the reason monitoring the pipeline and maintaining the pipelines is also one of the important thing. As a data engineer, you must know, or you must monitor the pipelines all the time whenever it is running. So this is what is also one of the important aspect. If something goes wrong, you should know how to fix it, and you should know how to run it again. So that is also comes under the data monitoring and maintenance. Okay, so this is what the data engineer do every day, guys. Oh, he will work on the data collection, he will work on the data storage, he will work on the data processing, he will work on the data quality and governance, he will work on the data pipelines, he will work on the performance optimization, he or she will be working on the monitoring and maintenance. So he or she may get a chance to work on all of these areas. In some companies, people get a chance to work on 1 or 2 areas only. So these are the different areas every day, the role of a data engineer, that every day he is going to work on. Okay, so this is what is the role of a data engineer, guys. So these are the daily activities of a data engineer only. Okay, so this is how it is. Now, sir, I wanted to become a data engineer. Can you tell me what are the topics that I have to learn? So let me gonna go to the course content so that you guys get good idea. Okay, so let me gonna talk about the course content, guys. Then I will talk about where we have to learn, how we have to learn, all of those details. Okay, I have divided my course content into 2 steps. So assume that we wanted to become a cloud data engineer. Our main agenda is that I wanted to become a cloud data engineer. Okay, so this is what you wanted to become. Sir, I wanted to become a cloud data engineer. So the course content I have divided in such a way that 2 things you have to learn. One is cloud basics. So if you wanted to become a cloud data engineer, for sure you must focus on the cloud basics. That is one thing. And the next thing is that if you wanted to become a data engineer, you need to focus on the data engineering tools. So this is what it is. So these are the course content that I have divided into 2 things, guys. One is cloud basics. Next one is data engineering tools. Sir, in the cloud basics, what are the things that we are going to cover? One by one, I will tell you. Similarly, in the data engineering also, what are the things that we are going to cover? I will tell you one by one here also. Okay. So for now, I'll go to the cloud basics. I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to talk about, in our upcoming sessions, we will be talking about this one. We will be covering the cloud overview, guys. So in the cloud overview, I'm going to talk about why we need the cloud platforms. What is the difference between the on-premises and the cloud platforms? What is the traditional working model as well as cloud computing model? We are going to see here. So our first module is cloud overview. We are going to talk about why we need the cloud platforms and what is the difference between the on-premises and cloud platform. And after that, I'm going to talk about what is Google Cloud Platform. Google Cloud Platform introduction, why we learn the Google Cloud Platform, what are the opportunities and certifications that we can do after this course. And once we completed our module 2, where we completed the introduction to the GCP, why we have to learn the GCP, opportunities and certifications. So this is our module 2. In the module 3, I am going to talk about the GCP interfaces. Sir, I wanted to work with a Google Cloud Platform. So what are the interfaces available? So that is console, Cloud Shell, Cloud SDK. So I am going to talk about all of these things. Similarly, the console walkthrough. I'm going to tell you, sir, if you wanted to practice, you need to know the we need to have the account in the Google Cloud Platform. I will tell you how to create a free tier account in the GCP so that you can able to create a free tier account here. And you will be having a project setup, how to set up the project and how to enable the building and how to enable the APIs. So this is our module 4, where we are going to set up all of these things so that you can able to practice the entire thing. So this is what I call it as a environment and server setup. So in this one, we will be creating a free tier account and project setup, enabling the building and APIs. And after that, we will talk about the GCP locations, such as what is region, what is zone, what is the selection criteria, and what is the importance of the GCP regions and locations. And after that, we will talk about the IAM, what is identities, what is roles, what is policy, what is resource hierarchy. So these are all our total 6 modules are there. In this one, we are going to start with the cloud overview, GCP introduction, GCP interfaces, console walkthrough, GCP locations for the deployment purpose, IAM and admin for the access control and security purpose. So all of these 6 modules comes under the cloud basics. All of these modules comes under the cloud basics. Okay, so now this is a course content for the cloud basics, guys. So we completed the course content for the cloud basics. Now we will go and see what are the topics that we are going to learn in the GCP data engineering tools. Okay, so in the data engineering, we are going to start with the multiple services in the data engineering. So we have a data. If you categorize the data, we have 3 types of a data is there. unstructured data, semi-structured data, and structured data. For unstructured data, in Google Cloud Platform, we have a GCS, Google Cloud Storage we are learning. We have a big table for the semi-structured data. For structured data, we have a Cloud SQL. For data warehousing purpose, we have a BigQuery. So total 4 services that we are going to learn, 4 tools I would say. One is Google Cloud Storage, Bigtable, Cloud SQL, BigQuery. So total four tools we are covering in the data storage and databases. Data, storage, and a database. Okay, in the data storage and databases. So this is a storage service. These are all the database services. So we have 4 services are there. That is Google Cloud Storage, Cloud Bigtable, Google Cloud SQL, Cloud BigQuery. So these are the 4 services that we are going to cover in our upcoming sessions for the data storage and database services. And then if you wanted to create the data pipelines, so you can create the data pipelines such as Spark and Hadoop pipelines with the help of the Dataproc. So we are going to cover our 5th service, Dataproc. With the help of this one, we are going to cover here the PySpark. Okay, PySpark pipelines that we can run on the Dataproc. So here we are going to learn about the Dataproc. What is Dataproc? How to create the Spark and Hadoop jobs in the Dataproc. Similarly, if I wanted to create the Beam pipelines, sir, I wanted to create the Beam pipelines using the data flow. We are going to cover the data flow. Here we are going to learn about the Apache Beam with Python. Okay, so in the Dataproc, we are going to learn about the Spark with Python. That is nothing but your PySpark. In data flow, we are going to learn about the Beam with Python. And sometimes you can also create a data pipelines using the code-free environment. So without writing any code, also you can able to create your pipelines. Those things are nothing but data fusion. In data fusion, you can able to create a data pipelines without writing any code. So that is also, we can also learn about the data fusion, which is also a very interesting service. And after that, I am going to talk about the workflow orchestration tool. If you wanted to create your data pipelines or orchestrate your data pipelines, we can use one more tool, that is Airflow, which is also a very, very important service. Okay, Airflow or a composer. Okay, so that is our 8th service. So here it is 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are the 8 services. And the next thing, for streaming data ingestion, we are going to worry about the streaming data tools also, that is PubSub, and event-based solution, that is Cloud Functions, and infrastructure provisioning using Terraform. Okay, as a data engineer, you should also work on the batch pipelines as well as streaming pipelines. So streaming pipelines, we can use it with the help of the PubSub, and event-based solution, that is functions, Cloud Functions. Infrastructure provisioning using Terraform. And additionally, I am also providing you, and I will also teach you the Linux basics, Python crash course, PySpark, as well as Apache Beam. So these are the additional things that we are also providing you so that you can make a good data engineer. So Linux basics, Python crash course, and PySpark concepts and Beam concepts. All of these concepts we are going to cover in our upcoming session so that you could be able to create a data pipelines full-fledgedly from the scratch to the end without any problem. So that is our agenda. Okay, so this is all about the course content. Let me gonna show you my course notes also. I will also providing you the notes. Here we have the notebook, guys. I will also provide you the access to the notebook where you will be having everything in one single notebook itself. So you can able to see here the cloud basics topics that we are covering, data engineering tools. If you wanted to see a full-fledged course outline, so here we have everything. Okay, so for those people after the course completion, sir, I have completed. So you can also see, first thing I will go to the course. GCS, Google Cloud Storage. We are going to learn about what is GCS, how to create a work with the GCS, how to create the bucket using the console, and as well as Cloud Shell using the Linux. Cloud SQL, what is Cloud SQL? How to work with the Cloud SQL? What is data migration project that we are going to cover here, sir? So it is a data migration project we are covering in the Cloud SQL, guys. Okay, here we are covering the data migration project. We will be migrating the data from the on-premises MySQL to the cloud SQL. This is one of the project that we are covering. Okay, so for the assignments also you have it here. For each and every topic you will be having assignments also. Assignment 1, assignment 2. For the cloud SQL also you will be having assignments. Similarly, BigQuery. What is BigQuery? What is the BigQuery's architecture? What is the drawbacks of the BigQuery? How to work with the BigQuery? Different ways of working in the BigQuery. Table creations. Partitioning and clustering the BigQuery. Nested and repeated fields in the BigQuery. Advanced topic, nested and repeated fields. What is a view? What is a materialized view? What is a authorized view? All of the concepts are here. Assignments, assignment questions, assignment answers. Case study 1 in the BigQuery, case study 2 in the BigQuery. Data proc, where we can able to create the data pipelines. Here we are learning about the what is Hadoop, what is the difference between the Hadoop and Spark, what is Spark, what is the Spark ecosystem, what is the Spark architecture, what is data proc, the use cases of the data proc, how to create a single node cluster, how to create a multi-node cluster, how to create an end-to-end data processing pipeline. And here we are going to have a lab sessions for reading the data from the multiple data frames, writing the data to the multiple data frames and transformations. All of these topics that we are going to cover. And the lab notes also here, guys. So everything is here. If you double click on it, sorry. So if you double click on it, it will open. Everything is here. You have all the notebooks also available. So you don't need to worry about it. Everything is there in the single location itself. You can access it. Okay, so the codes and the descriptions, everything is properly there. I am going to teach it, I am going to explain it, and the same thing we are going to do, and you can also practice in your own environment as well once we have set up the environment. And the sample tables, sample data set also is there, and the introduction, extracting the data, loading the data, transforming the data, SCD type 1 and type 2, job 1 pipeline, job 2 pipeline. Multiple data sets for your practice purpose. Case study 1. Case study 1 is one of the real-time case study, guys. Case study 2, assignment 1, assignment 2, end-to-end batch pipeline here. End-to-end batch pipeline, moving the data from the BigQuery to the cloud storage. If you wanted to learn more about the Spark, you have all the things here. And data flow. Introduction to the data flow. What is Apache Beam? What is cloud? What is data flow? How a typical Beam pipeline looks like. What is P collection? What is P transformation? What is Spark versus Beam? What is the difference between the data proc and data flow? The lab sessions again. Introduction, source data, source, reading the data from the source, writing the data to the source, transforming the data, pipelines, job 1 and job 2. Job 2 is an assignment. Here you can also create the pipelines using the template method, batch pipeline, streaming pipeline, end-to-end streaming pipeline, which moves the data from the Python application to the PubSub topic to the data flow, to the BigQuery and PowerBI. PubSub, what is PubSub? What are the simple terms in the PubSub? What are the use cases? What is the architecture of the PubSub? And here we have the PubSub pipeline also here. And Airflow or a composer for workflow orchestration purpose. What is Airflow? What is the Airflow architecture? What is DAG? How to create the DAG? Cron job format. And creating a composer, level 1 DAG. These are all real-time use cases I'm telling you guys. So whatever you are seeing, here you have the code, here you have the architecture. So this architecture, you can put it in your resume also, you can explain in the interview also. You have the code available already. Here also, level 2, the DAG code and the application code, the architecture diagram. Level 3, everything is here. Level 4, level 5 is an assignment. CI/CD. Here I am teaching you a flavor of CI/CD. When you are working in a company, they will ask you a little bit knowledge on the CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. Here we are going to do it with the help of the Airflow using the GitHub and Cloud Build. So this is also there, guys. So I'm going to teach this one also. This is a end-to-end real-time project with the CI/CD and Cloud Build and GitHub. Okay, so this is also covered. Okay, and after that, data fusion. Data fusion is not very much important, but we should learn about it. What is data fusion? End-to-end pipeline in the data fusion. Similarly, cloud functions. What is cloud function? Cloud function practical assignment. The lab one, assignment one. So this is your lab, guys. This is for the assignment for you. Similarly, the Terraform, final topic, that is Terraform, where we are going to talk about what is Terraform, how to create the infrastructure using the Terraform. And once we have completed all this course curriculum, if you guys wanted to go for an interview, I have created the resume templates here for you, so that if you wanted to create a resume, you can just copy and paste the resume points from this particular notebooks. Almost 10 to 15 resumes are there. You can utilize these resumes if you wanted to become a GCP data engineer. And introduction. So if you are going for an interview, you need to properly tell your introduction as well as project. So the introduction is also there, such as like if you wanted to, if you are completed the BTech, I have completed my BTech from this particular college. I have total this many years of experience, and these are the projects that I am working in, and your project explanation and architecture diagram, project 2 explanation, architecture diagram. When you are going for an interview, you just read it once, and you can go for an interview. You can tell the same thing in the interview. And data engineering questions, the theoretical questions from the particular course, all the things are properly mentioned here. You don't find many. It's because these are the very important questions. Out of 10 theoretical questions, if they are asking, which will be repeated from here, almost 7 to 8 are repeated from these data engineering theoretical questions only. Okay, theoretical questions out of 10, almost 7 to 8 questions are repeated from these things. Very important data engineering questions and answers. These are not just copied from the any internet and anywhere. You don't find it in the internet also. It's because these are from the interviews directly. And one more thing, cloud SQL questions. So whenever you are going for a data engineering interview, they are going to ask the interview questions in the SQL also, coding questions. So SQL coding questions also commonly asked coding questions I have placed here, guys. I'm telling you, very useful for the interview purpose. Go and read it before going for an interview. And Python also, you have it here. What is list? What is tuple? What is dictionary? These are the commonly asked questions for the interview also. Okay, you can see here. These are the commonly asked interview questions. Okay, yeah. Whenever I get an interview question, I paste it here, guys. You can see, right? And those who wanted to do a certification in the Google Cloud platform, so if you wanted to do associate cloud engineer certificate, or if you wanted to do a professional data engineering certificate, dumps for it. Okay, and complementary end-to-end pipeline I have created for you. If you guys gone, sorry guys, I think I lost for a minute. Hope you all can hear me. Yeah. So here I have created an end-to-end pipeline, which is a complementary for you guys. It's an end-to-end pipeline, the project explanation, as well as the pipeline video also I have created. This is a complement for you. Okay. So this is a complementary pipeline I have created for you. This is also I will provide you guys. So this is all about the course. This is all about the course content. And in addition to this course, we are also covering. So this is GCP I told you so far, right? We are also covering the Azure. Azure topics also we are covering, such as Azure Blob Storage, Azure Databricks, Azure Data Factory, ADF. So these are also we are covering in our notes. So all about the data engineer. If you wanted to become a full-fledged data engineer, you have the cloud basics, you have the tools related to the GCP, you have tools related to the Azure also. All of these tools we are going to cover, so that you guys get a very good hands-on data engineering tool, so that you can become a very good data engineer. So the resume is prepared, the interview introductions are prepared, the interview flow is also prepared, everything is prepared, guys. I'm telling you, the only thing is that every day we need to attend a live session, we need to practice it, then we can go for an interview after the course. Okay, you can also prepare your resumes, that is there in the notes also. Okay, so this is all about the course content. This is all about. And if you guys need any assistance in the resume preparation, you can always reach out to us. We will provide you the resume assistance, resume preparation assistance, and job assistance. We will provide you both of them. Okay, so this is all about the course. This is all about the thing that we do for this particular course. Hope that is clear. If anyone have any questions, you can please raise your hand, guys. You can please raise your hand if you guys have any questions. If anyone have any questions, you can ask me, guys. Yes, Suman.
Sir, you details of certificate.
So the course completion certification we are providing, right?
Yeah.